What's good? What's good? Welcome to the Epic Entertainment Critics. I am Antoine.
And I am still James.
Yes, and we are doing a live stream today. Finally back on. And today we got a treat for y'all. We are reviewing we are reviewing the 2003 Hulk. We doing old comic movies, man. We started off with Amazing Spider-Man 2 last week, and we want to keep it going with all the old comic book movies, good and bad. We're going to get the bad out the way with first.
Yeah. We're going to go ahead and run through all these so we can get to the good ones.
But before we start our review, we got intro. All right, we back. Sorry, I was doing a little engineering there. But anyway, 2003 Hulk. So I have not seen this movie for some years. And I forgot I had this mug sitting on my shelf, actually. Because I used to buy all the superhero movies, good and bad. I was just like, I'm going to collect them, DVD, before. So I got this on my shelf.
For the kids watching, a DVD is.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, man, I don't blame you for forgetting that you own this movie. It's not one that I've revisited much since I first saw it.
Dude, okay, so, and I'm going to tell the truth. After watching it again, I know why I didn't want to watch it no more. We're going to get into all that. We're going to get into was this good or bad. But yeah. This came out in 2003, directed by Ang Lee. And this was in the beginning of the superhero kind of hype.
Yeah.
Where after Spider-Man 1 was real successful. They came out in 2002. And I think Daredevil came out this year too. So it was like basically when Spider-Man made all that money, it was like, okay, they just greenlit. Hey, you got superhero property? Green light.
All of a sudden, the idea of a superhero movie was a real thing.
Yeah, right. Because they knew, we can make money off this. Yeah. So they greenlit it. So, so the Hulk 2003 dropped. It did not live up to expectations. And let's see. Kind of the thing we doing now is we going back, and when we watch them, we want to see if these movies change. And can we take something from these movies that we really like, that we say, okay, that actually worked. That didn't work, Right. So anyway, we took this journey. We're going to go ahead and watch the trailer before we do our review and give you a little refresh on it. So here go the trailer for the 2003 Hulk, and then we'll be back with our review.
Bruce? What happened to you last night?
I had the most vivid dream.
There's no way those shorts stay on.
It was like being born, coming up for air, the light hitting my face, screaming, my heartbeat was like boom, boom. Betty, what's happening to me?
I don't know.
I don't understand this. You were exposed to a dose of gamma radiation that should be lethal. But you seem just fine.
Maybe there's something different in you.
How little you understand, Miss Ross. My son is unique. And because he is unique, the world will not tolerate his existence. My Bruce.
I think the rage is triggering the transformations.
Sounds a little
He's
far-fetched.
masturbating.
I think we passed far-fetched a long time ago.
We're dealing with a monster.
He's a human being.
I will isolate it and treat it myself, and I'll kill it before it does any real harm. But would you really destroy part of yourself? I don't think so. You found me.
You weren't that hard to find.
like how they put these clips in, they look like there's a whole lot of scenes.
You know what scares me the most? When I can't fight it anymore. When I totally lose control. I like it.
We're gonna have to watch that temper of yours.
Coming soon to a theater near you. All right. That is the Hulk, man. That was the trailer for the 2003 Hulk.
Such a promising trailer. too.
Yeah, you thought you was gonna get a lot of action there.
Yeah,
Because of those. They clipped it. They put a lot of the clips, and if you looked hard, you'll notice. Damn, them look like they all the same scene.
Yeah. That trailer doesn't even give you any idea how much brooding and silently staring at nothing is in this movie.
Yeah. We're going to get to all that. So, all right. 2003 Hulk, man. Quick synopsis about, God damn it, it's hard. The reason why it's hard, it's about a dude named David Banner. He makes and this made me so mad, man. We could talk about the opening scene. So they had an opening scene where they was making this, where he was creating this formula, I guess to make people instantly heal or some
Yeah.
stuff. Do you know how long that opening montage was? I clocked it.
25 minutes.
No, it wasn't that long. It was 7 minutes.
Yeah.
7 minutes just to him, trying to make a serum that can heal itself or something like that. And I'm like, okay, do we need that? So, okay. And then they have the panels. Now, let's talk about, the director of this movie, Ang Lee, is the director of this movie. And he directed a movie called All I Need Is Love, or something like that. It's some love movie, romance movie that got real popular. It won all these awards, won like a Oscar or something.
Yeah.
So it was like a big time movie, a big time director. He's very artsy, and he has like a slow pace kind of style.
Yeah.
And that showed very much so in this movie. Wrong director for this movie. Very much wrong director for this movie.
Like, one, he's a weird pick for any action movie in the first place. But also to take something like the Hulk, a comic book movie, which is I don't know how you can have a comic book movie that isn't splashy and everything.
Right.
And he wants everything to be methodical and intimate. And I'm like,
Dude,
ugh.
okay, so first of all, they changed the story. They changed the story to be about Bruce Banner didn't have the Hulk. He didn't just get hit with the radiation and became the Hulk. He had it in his body the whole time.
Right.
From his dad pass it on to him because his dad experimented on himself. Okay. They took 30 to 40 minutes to do that. You know what I'm saying? To show us what his to get to the point where he got his powers, where he became the Hulk, it took 45 minutes. That was just for him to go through the accident. So I'm telling you like this, I'm watching it and I'm like, dude, they showed him as a teenager graduating out of high school. Why do we need, and I don't want to get too loud, why do we need to see Bruce Banner graduate out of high school and go to college?
because imagine this.
Explain that.
Imagine waiting 45 minutes for a spider bite.
No.
Okay? Imagine waiting 45 minutes
Oh,
to hear
man.
Shazam.
That
Okay?
beginning.
Like, your origin story should not be primarily comprised of backstory.
Yeah, that we didn't need. So they got the backstory of they showing him as a kid for like 5 minutes playing with his toys.
How many times do I need to see, 4-year-old Bruce Banner playing with his toys in front of a window?
Man.
How much of that do I really need?
It was too much of it. So once we get past that, right, we finally get to him as an adult. And when he's an adult, where they should have started the movie, you can see he's worked as in a lab as whatever he was, a biochemist, whatever. He was a scientist.
Yeah.
So they finally got to that. It's like, why didn't they start right here? We lost 20 minutes just to get to the point of, if we see him walk into a lab with a lab coat, oh, he a doctor, got it. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Let's go with the plot. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't. And so when he finally get to the plot, we know about this gamma accident that started them. So we like, okay, when did this happen? Because when are we going to see the accident? So
Not yet.
right. So I guess they was trying to set up his character all that time, but for 40 minutes it was just dull and dry. It was just, what the fuck were you looking at? You know what I'm saying? So I got a clip of the creation of when he first became, his when the accident first happened, and it wasn't a bad moment. It wasn't a bad moment, but it took too long to get to that point, and we really didn't need it. Hold on. And we really didn't need that moment, but I got a little clip that's got that moment here.
Bruce, I can't stop it! Harper, get out!
God. Don't you hate when it comes to stupid people? So they kind of stole that moment away by just not giving us a for real.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't? And then after that, they show him in the hospital.
Yeah, he just wakes up.
For another lengthy conversation that went nowhere.
But because this movie is called The Hulk. He's in the movie as the Hulk for what? 20, 30 minutes?
Right, but look how long so the movie is 2 hours and 18 minutes. And that ain't even that long for a comic book, for a blockbuster nowadays.
Right.
You know, movies go 2.5 hours are standard now.
Yeah.
So 2 hours and 18 minutes, including credits, that's actually that's not too long. It felt so long because it was so boring.
Well, because the majority of the movie is, so, you know, what happened should have killed
Oh my God, the acting. Let's talk about Eric Banner is Bruce Banner, and Jennifer Connelly as Betty Ross.
Yeah.
And they were so dull. You know what I'm saying? When they get to talking, she like, hey, so what about your parents? Oh, we're gonna talk about this again. I don't want to talk about this. Oh well, you know, if you don't talk about it, you're not gonna get. Dude, somebody kill these motherfuckers. I could do it, man. It's whack.
Even like if you want to ascribe like the strongest line that was written for Eric Bana in this movie is when he's talking about how it feels to change, to transform.
Yeah.
And it's just
boom, boom, boom. All right. So anyway, so once we get past that, we know he gonna have the powers, and they gave us I don't know if that explosion happened or was that
I can't tell
in his mind or something. They showed his eye like that was happened in his body.
That was just like a representation.
Oh
of
no!
what
So
happened in his
that right
body.
there, what the hell was that? It was like a green light. I could make that effect right now with no special effects.
Well, like,
It was just a green light.
Even the way that they tried to render him being blasted with gamma rays was like, it looked like it came out of the Hulk TV show.
That's what.
And so like I think part of that was like Ang Lee was thinking this will look cool, but bro, your movie's from 2000.
Right. It was his style that he was doing. So and then let's talk about all these panels. So he's doing all these comic panels. It was kind of cool, a couple times, but he kept doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dog, all right, man, we're gonna have to put a cap on this shit, dog, because you just keep on doing these comic panels, and it's like, what the fuck am I watching here, dude?
I think that's one of the biggest problems with picking someone like Ang Lee to make this movie is he can't not make it as an art film.
Right, exactly.
He's incapable. But this is a blockbuster action film.
It don't go together. Or just pull back and give us some of that style. But he tried to make it so artsy.
He wanted it all the way.
Right, he tried to make it so artsy that it turned into, you know what I'm saying? What? No, man, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. And we have to wait so long for him to turn into the actual Hulk.
Yeah.
And then we was like, okay, when we finally gonna get the Hulk, what's gonna be the incident that's gonna turn him into the Hulk? What was the incident that turned him into the Hulk?
Oh my God.
It was no incident when he first turned into the Hulk. I think he got a voicemail. Maybe that voicemail made him. He wasn't even mad. He was just kind of chilling at work, and he just started turning. He started like, and I'm doing that. I would show that, but I didn't get no clip of him
First off,
freaking out.
the way he transforms into the Hulk.
Well, I mean, because Eric Banner looks like he was trying to act like, let me try to, show some meanness. I think I got a little bit of that here. And see where you got Eric Banner gonna try to. See, I mean, they tried to, but before his body started transforming like a werewolf, he was like, grunting and shit. Well, we can look at it a little bit more. What do you think of this thing? Now, they should have stayed at that size right there. We're going to talk about the size. But I wonder, once he turned to the Hulk, was for no reason, why did he just destroy that damn place? It's like, was it something psychologically saying that I hate this place? You think that's the reason?
I think maybe that's what they thought they were showing with that scene. But like part of the problem is like when you have any kind of story with the Hulk where he transforms into the Hulk's primary MO on almost anything is either to deal with an immediate threat or to get out of the way so he can calm the hell down.
Yeah.
Like, even as the Hulk is like, I don't want to be here. Fuck this place. I'm out.
Exactly. So stress, anger, whatever, that's what triggers him in terms of to the Hulk. Right there, he wasn't doing shit.
No.
He was chilling, working on the computer, relaxing, and for no reason, he just turned into the Hulk. And then he destroyed his lab. Now, I will give you a little more of this.
For one, this is the Hulk. Why is he having a hard time lifting that? Second,
Well, I guess he just getting his powers.
sure. But secondly, like he like I said, when he hulks out, it's like, let me get rid of this thing that's pissing me off right now, or let me get out of here because I don't like this place. He went in deeper into the lab to find this thing.
It seems that he was purposely looking for it.
He was looking for it. That's what it looks like.
Right.
And if that's the case, you can do that in a scene, but the scene doesn't make it look like, oh, this is important right now.
Mm-hmm.
The scene makes it look like, oh, I'm mad, I'm doing stuff.
Right. What I'm tripping off of, he just started destroying this lab for no reason. I'm like, okay, I mean, Hulk does that, but he always responds to like a threat or something.
Yeah.
He don't just destroy shit just because
Like
it's there.
Whenever he hulks out, he responds to whatever the stimulus was that made him hulk out.
Yeah, right. So anyway, that was his first time transforming. I was like, okay, this scene don't look bad because it's in the dark. Wait, once he gets some light on him, it's gonna be bad. But I guess we can talk about this subplot where his dad keeps showing up, and we saw he was the janitor. So his dad started working as a janitor at his. And this scene right here, man, just so it ain't nothing but Eric Banner face stretched out, turned green.
Yeah.
That's what they did, and it's like, you don't even need to talk about the rest of this scene. Because, I mean, he's going to start remembering stuff in his childhood and then get mad. First of all, he don't look nothing the same. Ain't no way you can remember that's the same person. I wouldn't even remember it if I wasn't the Hulk.
Right.
So, anyway, that's when Hulk first transformed. And I thought it was kind of weak because it was like it wasn't, it just no reason. He just to destroy this lab and then leave. That's it. Go back home.
It's a weird one. It's a weird scene, right? It's really dark, that scene. So you can't. The only time you get an idea of what's actually going on is broad strokes. Like when you finally get a wide shot of him when he gets to the machine, he tears up and throws out of the building. But like, I get that their point was they wanted to show how he was too big for the scene.
But hold on. they made up for that. They knew that people was like, well, we want to see Hulk in action. We want to see him actually turn, you know. So 5 minutes later, maybe 5 to 10 minutes later, you know, he gets back home and he's, you know, back I'm about to call him Eric Banner, back Bruce Banner, and he turns again. So, and I ain't talking about this character. I told you earlier, this is my favorite character, and I'm gonna tell you, this dude was a supreme douchebag, right? So his girlfriend, old friend comes in, and he works for her dad. It's like, oh yeah, I like what you're doing. Well, tell the truth, I want to take all your experiments and I want to make money off of them. You know. So he ain't going for that. So he an asshole. So he come in and basically just be an asshole for real reason. And we finally get to see Hulk turn again. Now I'm gonna show you this scene because we get to see him in daylight, you know, turn or whatever.
Yeah.
And this dude just being an asshole for no reason, of course, just to make him mad. This kind of was a running theme in the TV show where somebody always used to bully him or pick on him or something.
Somehow he would walk into town and he would find the biggest asshole in town.
Yeah, and he'll be like, "Look, just leave me alone, man. I just want to, you know, eat my food or whatever. You want to eat your food, huh? You know, pour it over his head or whatever."
So it's like, yeah, you should. This is some good food. Let me help you with it.
Yeah. So it's always an a-hole that'll trigger his anger, and this is kind of an homage to the show, I would say, and so it's like, check this scene out where you finally get to see him turn in the daytime. Talk about that before I go any further. What? Yeah, that whole scene was kind of bad. As far as you could tell, he was just the way he flipped him up didn't look right. You know.
So the guy playing Talbot is clearly on a wire. We don't need to talk about that. But like even the way he tries to kip over to sell the throw,
it didn't work. Yeah,
does, like,
everything. No matter how strong you are, just the physics didn't work.
Like,
Go
it
ahead.
doesn't look like they're interacting with each other. It looks like Talbot's being yanked up by a wire.
Yeah,
and it looks like someone's like probably got a wire on Eric Bana too to help him do that quick flip over.
Yeah.
They both look like they're being affected. They don't look like they're affecting each other.
Well, he could have just threw him off, kicked him off, and he went flying in the air or something. That'd been more believable. But the way they did that whole thing, it just looked fake.
Yeah,
it's like, you know what I'm saying. It's clear he was on the wire when that happened. It's like, okay, yeah, that didn't work. And so now we get to first see him actually turn into the Hulk. And I'm gonna get your opinion on this CGI, the way he looked. So that green. I like the shaky cam.
Yeah. What shade of green?
But right now, it's bad now. You know what?
That's almost like a Gumby green.
You know the way he looked like when he was turning green? It looks like when you got your remote and you turning and you hitting the little contrast button and it turns green on the old school. I guess you could do it on real TV. It's like there's too much green in here, so you turn that. That's what it looked like.
Like when you messing with the color tone, you can change it between red and green. Back in the day.
And it's more green. That's what it didn't look good.
No.
It didn't look like his skin was actually turning green. It looked like somebody was messing with the fucking color on the. On the thing, dog.
And so like this wasn't something that I was aware of until like maybe a year ago. But like one of the things that makes modern CG so great is like they can do like pore stretching now. And so like it looks like real skin. When you look at this Hulk, like again, this is from 2003, but like this doesn't look like any kind of skin that's ever existed on the face of the planet. It looks like some Play-Doh.
Yeah, so I mean, we already kind of knew that the CGI was going to be dated because it was ambitious to do a Hulk movie where it's going to be a ton of CGI, but it doesn't hold up, and we're going to see what he looked like. So I say in kind of in the shadows, he don't look so bad. Yeah. But once that light hit him, man, he looked like a fucking he looked like a green apple. He just looked like a big ass green apple.
I don't know if it was just like the weakness of whoever was doing like the lighting for the CG didn't realize how to saturate it, but like it's so saturated.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know. I can't even believe that they're the same model. You know.
And part of the problem too is, like I said, it's his face just looked like a stretched out version of Eric Bana's face, and with a green tint. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, y'all dropped the ball on that, man. I didn't like it. So once he started turning to the Hulk, then we get to see some action. Mind you, this is an hour in the movie.
Yeah.
An hour in, we finally get to see him turn into the Hulk. An hour in, and all he did was wreck some lab equipment. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sorry for if you brought kids here and you say, hey, kids, y'all want to see the Hulk? Them kids going to be asleep. By the time this dude turned the Hulk, them kids going to be knocked out.
He turns into the Hulk, you're convinced that this isn't a Hulk movie.
Yeah, no, he's like, maybe this is an origin to Eric Banner before he becomes the Hulk. Hulk going to be in part 2. But no, this is now, from an hour in, he's finally the Hulk, and now we get to see some action. This is what you came for. This is what you bought your tickets for. You know, put your seatbelts on. And his first real action set piece, he fought 3 big-ass dogs. Now, this is kind of an infamous scene. You said you forgot about this. I don't know how.
Neither do I.
Everybody talked about this scene. It's like, this dude fought 3 big-ass, he fought a poodle? What the hell? But before we get to the action
Notorious
scene,
man killer, the poodle.
let me ask you this. How did you feel about his size? Now, they made him incredibly big. Hold on. Let me see if I got a little bit of him. You see in this scene right here, he keeps getting bigger.
Yeah.
And as they shooting at him, hold on, let's see if I he got so big. And then I was like, damn, how big he's gonna get? And they kind of gave you a context of how big he was when they showed him next to Betty.
Yeah.
I got that scene, and I want you, and I'm gonna get this just your opinion on that, because I feel like I was like, no, that don't work for me at all. Let's see, oh yeah, okay. I don't want to just keep showing clips,
Right,
but
right.
anyway, they decided to make him about 10 feet tall. Like, how'd you feel about that whole thing?
I think one of my problems with his size in this is it's inconsistent even for the Hulk.
Yeah,
You know, like there's always been like his size and strength are directly related to how angry he is.
right.
Then like he's like more or less at the biggest we see him in this movie when he's calm.
Yeah. Yeah. So I got some reference to that. On this scene right here. And like I didn't realize how big he was until he was standing right next to this person. And it is like it kind of killed me. I was like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Hulk is big, but at least maybe 7 to 8 feet tall, which is huge.
Yeah.
But he like 10 feet tall, maybe 10, 12 feet tall. You know, like what the hell? So, you know, he's got this scene where he's trying to save old Betty. Look at him. So him stooping down. Okay, yeah, and she didn't do good at this movie.
Like
Her acting is just so flat in this
how
movie.
much of the movie is just her going?
So yeah, everybody had a problem with that, man. The size, man. It's just it didn't match Hulk. The Hulk everybody remember was big, but not that damn big.
Right.
And what's the point if you keep on getting that big? It's like you got to have some kind of limitations on what
Yeah.
you doing there. And
Well,
I
like
didn't feel
also
it.
another problem with this movie in general. One of the big things about the Hulk, like the TV show did a good job of this. The point of the Hulk is not how strong he is. It's the fact that once he hulks out, he has to be gone.
Yeah.
You know, like you can't turn into the Hulk in a town and expect to still be able to walk around in that town the next day.
Yeah.
So he hulks out. He takes care of whatever the thing that sent him over the edge was, and then he'll jump straight out of town.
Yeah. They did put the jumping in there.
Yeah.
Which you don't see that in mostly. Well, I didn't ever see that before, but I knew they did
Right.
that in the comics, and I seen it in the cartoon.
Right.
Where they wherever he go, he just jump, and he jumps so far that it's like pretty much flying almost.
So like a big part of writing stories for the Hulk is just how are we going to write him calming down and trying to handle stuff like Bruce Banner stuff, or is he just going to like hightail it out of town and next time we see him, he's walking down the highway as Bruce Banner trying to catch a ride? So to have the Hulk in here, and he's just getting bigger and bigger
Right.
and bigger, and then you're also trying to have him in the scene as the Hulk in an emotional scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't like that either because I felt like the way they play it in the cartoon is like, he turns to Hulk to respond to a threat, and Betty can calm him down and talk to him or whatever, but he was already calm. If he's calm, he should be back to be Bruce.
Yeah.
That's my problem. You know what I'm saying? That's
Like,
they inconsistent with that.
I think what it was, like, when they were either writing this movie, storyboarding it, maybe even when they were shooting it, it didn't occur to them, if he's hulked out, he should be pissed.
Yeah.
And I guess part of that is a weakness of you don't have comic book people handling a comic book
Exactly.
property.
It's like they tried to make it more drama. They tried to give him more of this love story shit.
Because I think for Ang Lee and his creative team, they thought they were making Beauty and the Beast, but the Beast is the Hulk.
Yeah.
That's not what this is.
Exactly. I think that's what they was going for, the Beauty and the Beast, and it was like, nah, that's not the Hulk.
Exactly.
You could say the Beast part, and it's got some elements of that, but that still is not the Hulk. You know what I'm saying? So we got, I guess I didn't want to keep going on that scene, but we got some of that scene where he fight the dogs. Now, that's an infamous scene, and you can either love it or hate it because it's ridiculous. His father mutated these dogs, and he's got a poodle, a pit bull. I think it was like a pit bull, a poodle. I can't remember what the other dog was, and they big as shit, and he's fighting these dogs. It's a kind of a silly scene.
It's some Ninja Turtle stuff.
And I would beat the shit out that dog too. The dog bit him in the chunk.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So first off, this still carries one of the weaknesses from early CGI. They can't decide what's wet and what's dry.
Yeah.
Everything's a little too fluid. Also, can I just say, the hell is this?
Well, you know
what I'm
what?
saying?
It didn't, like I said, in the darkness, the CGI don't look as bad. You know what I'm saying? The CGI don't really look bad until they hit that daylight. And I got some clips of that.
So,
but
also, though, because of how dark all of these scenes, so many of the scenes where you have CG in this movie are, you can't get a read for the motion. Like, you get the broad strokes, so, like, the impacts, you catch those. But when you're just trying to follow the fight, all you're seeing is shapes moving in the darkness.
Yeah.
And every single shape takes up the entire frame.
I know. So, you could take it or leave it. You could take it or leave it with the CGI. Like I said, in the darkness, to me, it wasn't so bad, but it was actually a little too dark. Those scenes was a little too dark when I tried to watch them on my TV. I don't know if it was my TV, but I couldn't make out everything that was going on. So, then they decided to add light. But
the cold, revealing light of day.
So, like I said, this movie, the characters in this movie they was all flat.
Yeah.
It was boring. Even General Ross was kind of flat. I like Sam Elliott, but he wasn't really.
The only thing that saves his performance as General Ross is that it is Sam Elliott, and you're happy to see Sam Elliott.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But it wasn't too much to work with there. Like I said, Talbot was my favorite character because he was such a royal douchebag that he, you know what I'm saying? He just made himself interesting just being such an asshole.
The only characters that I think that anyone can enjoy in this movie are Talbot and David Banner, because one, they're the only ones acting.
Yeah,
they're doing all the acting for the entire cast.
What's his name? Nick Nolte. I'm sorry.
Nolte.
Yeah, Nick Nolte. I don't even know if he was. Nick Nolte was just like, hey, I don't need no script. I'm just gonna go in there and do my thing.
I'm gonna be Nick Nolte for a minute.
He was hamming
and
it up.
Tell me if it works for you.
Which I didn't like I didn't like the plot of his dad being the one who kind of created him and all this stupid stuff. And then they turned him into a Zorba Man. So they kind of meshed plots, right? Because the Zorba Man never was his dad.
No.
Correct? No. Okay. I got that clip, but before I show that, I'm going to show one of the best deaths in cinema history. And, it's just like, of course, when when the first thing they're gonna try to do is try to take out the Hulk. I mean, first thing they're gonna try to do is try to get paid off the Hulk by using his using the term to a weapon. So so Taliban, and it was funny how he didn't sugarcoat it. He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna turn you into the Hulk, and I'm just gonna take your whatever and reverse engineer it and make a lot of money from it." He just came out and said it. I'm like, this dude, he's a douchebag, and he know it, and he don't give a shit.
like one of his earlier lines is like, "I'm gonna write a book when dumb ideas happen to smart people."
Yeah, so I mean, he's the ultimate douchebag, and like I said, he met his demise. Now you can like the scene or don't like it. I love the scene. He probably meet his demise. So he's trying to get a sample so he can.
So long, big boy.
Hold on, look. Everybody else like, hey, everybody else got the fuck out of
Oh my god!
Everybody else, they knew. They said, you know what? This ain't gonna end well. Let's get the.
Like, hey, give me that gun. Hey, you got it.
Yeah.
So
So
I'm outie.
yeah, hold on. They didn't go like freeze frame on the freeze frame. That was funny. On the freeze frame. And
Oh man,
it's, you know why it's so satisfying for me?
that scene should have gotten an
What?
award.
Because he's so stupid. And when you do it to yourself, when you're such an asshole and you do it to yourself, it's a very satisfying end.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You know, like he's one of those guys you spend a movie waiting for him to get himself killed.
Yeah. But this way, look, he looks so dumb. It's not, like that thing just came right back at his ass. Hold on, one more time.
That thing was on a rubber band, baby.
Oops. Nighty night, big boy. It's like, what the?
Oh,
Anyway,
God. It's one of those things, man. Like, I will say these Hulk movies kind of made a thing. Like, despite not sharing too many, I think any of the creative team being shared between the two movies, they have this thing of like, okay, let's have this one guy who should definitely know he can't stand up against the Hulk try to stand up against the Hulk.
I mean, he was doing, even before that, he was doing such stupid stuff where they like, hey, we can't drill harder. It's like, dude, he initiated the tournament to the Hulk just so he can steal his blood or something. Like, dude, stop.
Like,
You saw what the thing did.
So you've already seen that your high-powered drill can't pierce his flesh. So you thought the grenade launcher would do
Well,
it?
I think what he was originally going to try to drill in the eye
Yeah.
and get a
Like,
sample
not
of.
even the one not even
If
the
he would have
hand
done
drill.
that, he would have pissed him off even
So,
more.
like, 'cause, like, I'm not even talking about the hand drill. I'm talking about when they had him in the chamber. When they first tried to induce his transformation by affecting his brainwaves, like they tried to do some Wolverine-esque stuff and try to get the stuff to pierce him mid-transformation. He's not even fully transformed, and you can't get stuff in him.
I know, and he's
So-
steady growing.
Yeah, he's staying growing. And what made you think that grenade was going to do anything?
I don't know, but I mean, I wouldn't have thought they was gonna bounce off just like that. But I still wouldn't have shot it. Even if he would have blew up, he still would have fucked it. That's why everybody ran.
Yeah.
Because look, you're in a small hallway. You're such an idiot.
He's dumb for no reason. That's what his character is, dumb for no reason.
Yeah. So, okay, we finally get a big action set piece with the Hulk. Him fighting something other than just destroying furniture. And we get a look at the way he looks in the daylight. And that's what I was like, oh, it looked like a cartoon. Just like it looked like Roger Rabbit, like a cartoon standing in the real world. And, they got this scene where he, and I was like, when I saw that, I was like, it looks like nothing's really there. I mean, I could wait
Like,
for real.
For one thing, his shadow's a little too soft.
Yeah.
So like they tried with the shadow, but they didn't do the best that they could have done. And part of that is just not knowing what you're doing. You know, this is probably like one of the few times you've actually had to, especially in 03, that anyone's done a large CG object that's that detailed and that involved.
Yeah,
But he's not grounded in the scene all that well, and he's way too overlit.
that's what I'm saying. It's the color. He looks like a cartoon standing there. He didn't seem like he had no weight in that sand. And that's why I'm like, dude, if you heavy as the Hulk, shouldn't
It
you?
looks like a dude walking.
Yeah, but shouldn't you maybe imprint the sand
Well,
maybe
'cause, like
deeper?
he should be like what 800 pounds at this point.
Right, that's what I'm saying. He getting so big, and
But
yet
it looks like a 180-pound dude walking on sand.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that was already a problem where he didn't feel like he was there. So I was like, yeah, that color, the candy apple green, that's not working.
Yeah.
That's it just it's not working. It's like y'all lost me once y'all did that. I remember at the time seeing it. Did I like it back then? I thought it was a little too. It was too bright back in 2003.
Right.
I did appreciate some of this right here, some of the bashing of the tanks. But I mean, now that I look at it, don't hold up. I liked it back then. It really don't hold up now.
I do appreciate that. Like, you cool?
Yeah. But it's just, it's a cool scene. It's just the way he looks just don't look real.
Yeah.
They did use mocap when they first. This is like kind of the first movie they kind of use mocap,
Right.
and his movements look good.
Yeah.
Because they use a real person doing it. But the way his body looks just too colorful, too fake.
Well, like also one of the problems with this model is they don't like he's never really battle damaged. So like he'll tank a tank shell, and like he'll be engulfed in the explosion, but there's no burn marks on him.
But they had an answer for that. They showed him actually get cut and it healed up immediately like Wolverine.
No, but what I mean is like the soot should stay on his skin. Dude walked through it, was at the center of an explosion. The blast mark should still be there. Even if there's no damage to his flesh, it should still be leaving residue.
Yeah, I mean they had some scenes where it looked like he was a little dirty, or had a little whatever.
But that's the thing. Is like it always plays as like an afterthought. It doesn't like dude rolled through some sand, but he's got nothing on him.
Yeah, I mean that's a small thing because of everything else going on.
Yeah.
But at the time, I thought this scene was real cool just because just seeing him bash these tanks and throw these tanks around was an awesome scene, especially after sitting through that boring beginning for an hour.
Of course.
But it definitely wasn't enough, and it don't hold up going back and looking at it how bad it looked.
I'll never not appreciate him bending the tank barrel back towards the inside of the tank. I did enjoy that.
What's that now?
When he gets the one tank, he bends the barrel of the main cannon.
Yeah.
And so dude's just staring had his own gun.
Which it wouldn't have.
It wouldn't have fired.
Right. It wouldn't have went.
I mean, it probably would have backfired.
Right. Well, he still got killed or whatever. So anyway, this is all cool stuff. But guess what? Where's our villain? We got a villain? Yeah, we got a villain. We got a Absorbing Man. If anybody never heard of him, that's one of Hulk's villains, where a guy can absorb anything he touch and becomes part of it.
Yeah.
I believe, like metal, wood, whatever.
Yep.
And his backstory, the original Absorbing Man, was not he wasn't his dad. He was just some thug, right?
Yeah.
He was kind of like Sandman.
He was like
basically,
Sandman, yeah.
where he got this amazing power. He could pretty much do anything, but he just want to rob banks.
So he wants to rob banks.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of like...
And never could spend the money because he always get caught.
Yeah, there's a lot of like late 70s to late 80s comic book villains that have that backstory. It's like, random thug off the street gets amazing powers. Rhino was like that back in the day.
Yeah.
It was just like, yeah, you're a big dude. We'll give you superpowers.
Yeah, I got a clip of Absorbing Man. Some of his when he first became some of the effects they used for him, And I'm gonna get your opinion on the effects with Absorbent Man, which is, it is what it is. It wasn't bad, but by this time I was already kind of on the.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The date was going real bad, so you can't just show me one good thing. You know what I'm saying? But
He huffing straight from the tank. Oh my God.
hey man, hold on. Hey, your boy Nick Nolte. Let me see. This boy said, hey, that boy, he just said, hey, fuck that. Give it to me. That's a good one. But hey, look, that's his Nick Nolte at home right there. I forgot about that. The way he huffed it.
First off, I will tell you, Nick Nolte has huffed propane.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about huffing propane, but I can tell by watching that scene, Nick Nolte knows how to huff propane.
Yeah, that's your villain of the movie, Absorbent Man. He is a Hulk villain.
And it takes him the entire movie to become the villain.
I was gonna say, this is, it's only like 20 minutes left of the movie, pretty much, when this happens.
Yep.
That is not good pacing at all.
No.
You don't have I was like, you might as well just make the military the villain.
Which would have been fine for a Hulk movie.
Right, but they had to add this other villain that could do anything, but for some reason, they came up with a reason why he's want to. He couldn't stabilize. He needed.
Yeah.
Right, that was his whole deal.
Okay.
Where the guy, Mr. Security Guard, the most unlucky security guard. There's always an unlucky security guard, right?
Yeah.
Hey, put your hands up, buddy.
I have to ask you that.
Okay. One, that was straight out of a cartoon. And two, Nick Nolte's response is like the only response you can have when you know what's going on in that scene. And someone's like, all right, buddy, put your hands up, okay? Nice and easy.
Well, that's what they always do. They always have either security guard or a cop.
Yeah.
Like, all right, get on the ground. Get on the ground, you say. And they use their power and kill them. It's the same shit.
It's always the same. Yeah. One thing, because I was so sure if they were going to do that, they might have, I get why they didn't do this, but they already had, they got Lou Ferrigno
Yeah.
play a security guard earlier in the movie.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't want to see Lou Ferrigno.
I wouldn't want to see Lou Ferrigno
go out like that.
Yeah. But, I will say, that's one of those, like I said, the effects are really ambitious. So, him, melding with the floor there and then melding with whatever machine that was he splatted that dude with.
Right.
But that should have been your premiere effect in that movie, right?
Uh-huh.
If you want to show, hey, we got some bomb effects in this movie, you've got Absorbent Man. You've got a dude who's melding with whatever he touches and weaponizing himself. Why isn't that the effect that you're trying to sell this movie off of? I get that it's a Hulk movie.
Right.
But it's like Electro and Amazing Spider-Man 2. This is the effect that you're talking about every time you bring up this movie.
Yeah.
So why do we have the dogs?
Exactly. Well, he sent the dogs, let's not forget. And don't let nothing get in your way. It's get out of here. Anywho.
Props to Nick Nolte.
Yeah. It's... it was an interesting choice to bring in a villain after the movie is down and over.
Yeah.
And so you think, all right, well, let's wrap this up. He had his big fight with the police. With the government. And that was a pretty lengthy set piece where he went from tanks to he went
helicopters.
Tanks to helicopters to jets. And then on the ground, they had the police show up too. And, so he used every part of, the military to fight against, and they showed that they couldn't beat him or whatever. So
threw everything at him but a nuclear sub.
Right. That was that was next. We didn't do on sea. We just did everything else. So, that's what I say. So your action, you fulfilled your action quota. Right. So let's wrap this up. What are we going to do to wrap it up? Well, let's not forget we got this villain, so they got to have their final confrontation. And this this whole scene So they had this end scene where he sit down and talk to his, which I'm like, why did they do that? Once they caught him, why would they let him sit in the same room with him for a conversation? So that looked like a play. That reminded me of a play. Did you remember that scene?
Yeah. Like, and so like they just he's sitting down. Like, you got Bruce Banner in his little setup. It's supposed to be locked down tight.
Regular chain, regular handcuffs and
Regular
shit.
handcuffs.
Like, this is the Hulk, and
This
you got
is
him
the
in
Hulk.
handcuffs.
Regular handcuffs. And then like Nick Nolte sits down across from him like a dude staring a cell in lockup. Like,
Yeah. So
what you in for?
yeah,
Like,
they talking. It really looked like a play, and Nick Nolte was hamming it up, and he was just doing this whole thing, and Eric Banner like, go away or shut up. You know what I'm saying?
Nick Nolte in the scene. You think I'm here to see you? I'm here for my son. Like, whoa, bro.
Yeah.
Dial it back a bit. I know you was huffing that strong stuff a minute ago, but bruh, calm it down.
He was he's still on that stuff. So yeah, I mean, we got our last scene, man, and I was like, at this point, we didn't need this. So this is like they doing a stage play.
Yeah.
They did a stage play for the end of this movie.
A little bit of Shakespeare in the Park to wrap
Yeah,
it all up.
they just sat down in these two chairs and talked shit for like 10 minutes.
You know,
It was like, what are
tonight
you-
on Between Two Ferns.
What, right? What the hell? And then Nick Nolte finally is like, "Look, I'm tired of this shit." It-
You just watch me go.
hey man, I mean,
A while ago. You just watch me
and then- hold on, man. It's like a drunk dad just embarrassed the shit out of your drunk uncle. Like, he's like, look, don't do it. Just chill out. No, they try to chill in their chairs and look, Nick Nolte just get you know what? Fuck it.
You just watch me go.
Why did they do shit? I guess they was like, well, shit, this dumb man's gonna kill himself anyway. But I guess he's just absorbing it,
Yeah.
and he having a fit for no reason.
You know, like, I get that he's supposed to be catching some of it, but one, he can't act. Like, I'm not gonna say he can't act. He's not acting.
I mean,
Like, if that's his getting electrocuted,
I don't know. We get this final scene, which we don't need, of him fighting the Zorban man, and I was like, at this point, man, I was kind of done with this, but let's finish it up with a boss fight.
like,
I mean, that's what they doing. They giving you a boss fight.
two of the great injustices of this movie, you have Jennifer Connelly acting against Sam Elliott, and like somehow, even though they give Sam Elliott nothing to do in this movie, he's still doing more than her.
Yeah, and she's god awful in this movie because
Yeah.
she's not giving you no emotion. She's giving you one note. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's not giving you no
Yeah.
range. She's doing the same tone on everything she says.
And then on the other side, you have Eric Bana against Nick Nolte. So you have, you're making me angry.
Yeah.
Next to, you just watch me.
Yeah, no, it's so uneven. Yeah, man, it's bad, man, on so many levels. The acting, it's wow. And then once we get to the effects, that just take it down some
Yeah.
by giving us these dated effects. And they had this scene here. I guess did he teleport him? I was wondering, like, because he turned to pure electricity or something. Here they go, the panels. He turned to pure electricity, and he gets bigger, and then he just kind of take him away. So he's turned into the Hulk while they dinner, and then he's kind of take him over. I guess he teleported. Yeah, is that what happened? So they got him in, just appearing in the clouds, like he showing them.
Like,
Can you do that? Can you teleport? I mean, Shouldn't he just electrocute him?
Should. But,
Maybe he can teleport himself. Maybe I don't know. You know
like,
what?
I get
I don't
him.
know the
Like
physics.
he's made of electricity. I get him being able to teleport in a bolt of lightning. I don't know how he's carrying the Hulk with him as he's doing it.
Yeah.
Like lightning has a lot of power, but it doesn't move things. Okay.
Yeah.
So-
And then they have they have their little confrontation where you get to see a Zorba Man actually do what a Zorba Man does, is turn into he always turn into a rock or something or some kind of metal, whatever's
He'll pick up some chains.
Yeah. So what you think of this effect?
Sir, I've located them on radar. Pear Lake.
Which is stupid to turn into rock because
Like-
Hulk smashed rock.
Yeah. Like you were already lightning.
Yeah. Well, I guess as soon as he touched something, he can't control what he is.
Right. Right. He wasn't stabilized yet.
Yeah.
But like he turned into rock and then held up a big rock. that was his like I get he's not like a tactical genius, but really,
Right. I mean, but then we get to see, that's basically he just smashing rocks for about, maybe like 2 minutes. Like we didn't even need this. I'm fine with them ending it, with the military fight. But
this is not the final boss we deserved.
well, I mean, you know what? The movies don't always need that final boss. They think superheroes always superhero movies. You got to have a final. Give me some good action throughout the movie, and I don't need that final boss fight.
Yeah, I'm with
not
you
anymore.
on that. Especially with something like the Hulk, where you start off saying, "Okay, so nothing can beat him in a fist fight."
Right.
That's part of your premise. It's the Hulk. Anything that comes up against him, he's gonna crush it. Like if I'm Ang Lee and I want to make a movie about the Hulk that isn't just Hulk smash, then the only other option you have is to say, well, the Hulk can't fix this. Maybe either A, it can't be fixed, which is just okay, fine. Well, you gotta go disappear now.
Right.
Which it's the Hulk's origin story, so that's kind of how it's got to end, anyways. Or two, it's something that Bruce Banner has to fix.
Yeah, and I was just like, to the point. One, we did need a Zorba Man, and we damn sure didn't need him to be his father, and and it just got to a point where I was like, this is extra. We don't need this. Stop it right here, and you might be able to salvage this. But when you went further with this ending, this shit went off a cliff. I mean, that's your whole movie in a nutshell.
Because I think I would have felt better if you took Nick Nolte as the dad out of this movie entirely. Just make it about Talbot trying to weaponize the Hulk.
Yeah, with Ross fighting him.
Yeah,
it would have been a much better movie.
Much better.
The subplot of his dad being giving him the stuff before he was born, and that killed this movie. As a matter of fact, this movie would have been shorter. You could have just and then they showing him for 10 minutes when he was a little kid, and then they showed him for a couple minutes as a teenager. Why do we need to see him as a teenager? It has nothing to do with the plot of the movie showing him graduate out of college.
Yeah.
Or
like we meet his foster mom.
Yeah, his foster parents. What? Why? What was the point of that? They overthought and overwrote this movie.
First off, if a character who means something to your main character is only in the movie for 3 seconds, you didn't need them in the movie.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it didn't matter. It just added to, and this movie could have been an hour and a half.
They just wanted that.
Would cut out all the bull crap, and it would have been actually kind of enjoyable.
Yeah. I mean, because this is one of those movies where that proves the point. If you're waiting for the movie to end, the movie's too long.
Yeah. And the movie wasn't even that long. The movie's only 2 hours and 18 minutes.
Yeah.
That's not that long for a superhero movie nowadays. But it felt long.
We've watched 3-hour movies before.
Yeah. I mean, Avengers Endgame 3 hours. It didn't feel like it, but it was 3 hours.
Right.
And it's still, I sat there the whole 3 hours entertained.
Entertain. So if Endgame can be 3 hours, that feels like 30 minutes. Like you leave Endgame wanting more movie.
Right.
I'm in Hulk, 45 minutes in.
I mean, the only thing that saved that last scene is watching Nick Nolte act the damn fool. Watch me go. You know what I'm saying?
That was one of the few scenes that I remembered from this movie was him biting into the power line.
Yeah.
That scene.
But
has
and
never
also
left
the
my
way he got up and
he gets up like a drunk at AA.
Yeah.
Nah, I
like,
don't have a problem. You
Don't
have a
please
problem.
don't embarrass me. Just not. I don't give a damn. Watch me.
It's like, so yes, Mr. Banner. What do you do? Dad, don't do it. Oh, you want to know what I do? I'll tell you what I do. Watch this.
It's like one of those, oh, you don't want me to embarrass you? Oh, I'm gonna embarrass your ass, all right? That's all that was.
Like, because all Nick Nolte is in this movie is the alcoholic father. That's all he is in this whole movie. Well, that and the creepy janitor.
Yeah. I already forgot about he started off as a janitor.
Excuse me, where's Benny?
Benny's
the
dead.
usual janitor. Benny's dead.
Benny's dead.
I'm the new guy.
Yeah, I'm the new guy. All right. It's like, anyway, so I'm gonna give him my rating, dude. All right. I mean, you pretty much already know what I'm gonna say. So
I'm sure you're going to say that it was a masterpiece, a real tour de force.
yeah, I could say that, but I'm not. I'm telling the truth. So okay, the Hulk was a boring, stupid, long. Okay, I'm I'm gonna give you a real film analysis. Seriously, the movie took too much time on stuff that did not matter. Too much time on stuff that did not matter, and gave you and took way too long to give you what you asked for, and focus on these boring, bad, poorly acted characters. Jennifer Connelly, Eric Bana did a shitty job, and I usually don't like to just talk about people like that, but after watching this movie, they're bad. It might not be their fault because I seen them act in other stuff. They was actually pretty good. Eric Bana did good in other stuff, so I'm not calling him a bad actor. It's just in this is bad, but I'm thinking maybe it was the material. It was a very boring, bland, drawn out story, and by the time you got to the Hulk, action, you was already so bored. But you can enjoy the action for what it was, but the bad CGI took that away from you. You know what I'm saying? Right. So the CGI is dated. The movie was boring, and the storyline, the subplots did not hold water. It was the subplots made the movie even longer and worse. So for that, I give this a hot garbage, man. It's nothing I can pull out of this. This went down for us the first time I saw it. Well, the first time I saw it, I enjoyed the Hulk scenes because of the bashing, the tank. It's still kind of fun, but it went down because the CGI didn't hold up. So now I'm looking at it like, oh yeah, that shit. He looked like a cartoon running around, doing that stuff. So yeah, I give it a hot garbage, man. I'm sorry, but I mean, they got better. But yeah, this movie was a steaming pile of hot garbage. What say you on your rating, sir?
So one of the things that regularly astounds me about this movie, and definitely influences the way I feel about it, is Eric Bana was requested to play Bruce Banner in this movie. Ang Lee wanted him to be Bruce Banner. I forget what production that he was in that Ang Lee saw and said, yeah, this is the guy. I don't know what he was smoking. Maybe he and Nick Nolte was in a trailer getting it in. I don't know.
Maybe you want to pull that scene up. Just huff that shit.
But because I've even watched I've watched and listened to Eric Bana being interviewed about the Hulk, and the one thing I get from him is he does not know why he was in that movie. He has no clue. He would have never picked him for that.
Yeah.
And
he looks like a buffed Jim Carrey.
Yeah, yeah. Well, because even a lot of the stuff he did was slightly some level of comedic role for the longest time, and then of course he was in Black Hawk Down. But it's just this movie is so many missteps strung together The CG wasn't right. You know, for the time there was only so much that you can expect, but the CG wasn't right. You know, the pacing is all over.
Well,
the
I couldn't
place.
even have fun with. You know how you have fun with a bad movie?
Yeah.
I couldn't even have fun with it because it's so boring.
They wouldn't let you. You know, they give you this really weird looking Hulk and then say, "Oh, sorry, we have to go into the brooding scene of what happened to you, Bruce."
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I don't know, but
The acting was so bad.
and it's like they're both acting down here. They're both acting down here. The scene is up here, but they're acting down here.
Yeah.
You know, so Jennifer Connelly and Eric Bana, who have the bulk of the screen time in this movie, are both monotone throughout the whole movie. Then you have Sam Elliott just collecting the check. You have Nick Nolte chewing up the scenery.
He was one of the funniest parts of the movie.
So-
just seeing him act the fool.
Yeah, your two bad guys are the most enjoyable part of
Yeah.
this. And I don't think there was enough of either one of them in
Right.
this movie.
Right.
You know, like this movie needed Nick Nolte showing his ass.
Right.
They needed that. You know. And if your movie needs ridiculousness just to make it an entertaining bad movie, okay, to be a movie that's so bad that it's good, they needed more of Nick Nolte just doing whatever the hell he wants.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem. Okay? This movie is a big, steaming, and if I might pun, hulking pile of hot garbage. Do not waste your time renting this for money. If I think it's on Hulu right now, catch it there. You can probably find a friend who made the mistake of buying this film and watch it on their dime. It is not worth your money. It is barely worth your time, and you will suffer.
Yes. Well said,
That
my
is all.
friend. Oh, that is our rating for the Hulk. I'm gonna just leave it on this scene right here.
I'll go. You just watch me go.
That's everything you need to know about this movie.
That's it. That's all you need to know. Beautifully put by the magnificent Nick Nolte. We give this movie.
Watch me go, goddammit.
We give this movie 3 electrifying Nick Noltes out of 35.
That is our review for the Hulk. The 2003 Hulk, man, not a good movie, and when you go back and watch it, it's worse than I remember. So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and wrap that up. We're gonna do a couple trailer reactions, but we are going to make sure we do. We are going to do some more bad superhero movies. So make sure next week I'm pretty sure we're gonna do Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer.
A true classic.
Now will that go up?
Just-
I don't know.
Just a gem of a film.
Yeah. If we don't do that one, we're gonna do another shitty superhero movie. Either Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, or Elektra. So we got a whole lot to do.
Look, because trust and believe, there is a long list of movies. to choose
Bad
from.
superhero movies.
Oh man.
Big budget too, because I ain't gonna count the low
Right.
budget made for TV superhero
Right,
movies.
right.
Those are bad, but at least they had an excuse. They didn't have no
Right.
budget. They had $100 million, and you still got trash.
Because like I don't think we need to go like digging too deep in the crates here, so we ain't gonna have to touch on Spider-Man. You know? But yeah, we trust and believe we're gonna get this in.
All right, so that is our review for the Hulk. Let me see. We are going to jump into a trailer reaction for that Batman. What happened? Let's see. I guess we still streaming.